You know to look for him here.
Premonitions, hunches. I don't know if I can explain it. But this Vandalis is an evil that has to be stopped.
Welcome to Second Class Cinema, the show where we watch a B movie and immediately discuss. I'm Tom. I'm here with Brittany and Eric.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I'm here to record the episode about the movie we just watched.
Hi, guys. You're in danger and you don't even know it.
I'm not a freak.
You're a freak. Your blood sustains me like vegetables.
God damn it.
This movie.
Yeah, all right. So, just to get it out there, we watched Blade of the Vampire,
Blade of the Vampire.
2005.
This was a fan pick.
This was a fan pick.
This was picked by a fan of our podcast called Second Class Cinema.
Who was this fan? You know him, Brittany. Why don't you explain what happened here?
A friend from work who is also a fan of B movies recommended this movie to me, and it was on our list for so long, and I was like, yeah, it's on there, we'll get to it. And finally he wanted us to see this movie so bad that he actually bought it for our viewing pleasure. So thank you, Scott.
Hey, thanks a lot.
If you want to give us money for your pleasure, please go ahead.
And what was it about? Because we all need to know.
This movie was about a handsome vampire, much like myself. This vampire was named Vandalis, and he appeared in Los Angeles to be a vampire. That's about it.
You showed up to be a vampire. That sounds about right.
That's about it. He meets some ne'er-do-wells on a street corner, lures them into his house, and turns them into
Vampires.
addicts, I guess.
Vampire minions.
Vampire addicts that
Concubines?
are minions. I guess so. I don't know.
I guess so.
But yeah, I guess that's what it's about.
There's like this vampire hunter that's chasing after him, and we don't know why he is.
But it's
or
like
where
pretty
he
much a
comes from.
subplot.
Basically.
Well, first question, do you think that vampire was that other vampire's son? I mean, no, the hunter was the vampire's son.
They
We're
seem to
jumping
be,
right into it.
No, I'm just asking the question.
They seem to be hinting at it, but this movie's incompetently made, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it could have gone either way.
Yeah?
Or actually, I think it was probably just a throwaway line.
This movie likes to start plot threads and just throw them out the window, like so many corpses of vampire-fed vampires.
I have a question about this movie.
Go.
Can we just make this episode as inept as this movie was?
I think we're doing pretty good. I think we're doing pretty well at that.
Before we even started, we laughed for 10 minutes for no goddamn reason.
There were some pretty good reasons. But I want to know, so this movie's called Blade of the Vampire.
Yes.
How many vampire rules did this movie break?
Vampire rules?
Vampire rules.
You mean like vampires just going out in daylight?
Yeah, well, that's one.
Several
That's
times.
That's it?
That's it?
I think so. Nothing like crazy happened.
Really? I feel like they didn't act like vampires at all.
They sucked blood, and they were immortal, and their backstory was explained with Alta Vista image search pictures.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just felt like they weren't.
The only way they illustrated to us that they were vampires was when they were feeding. But even then, you saw no blood. Like, the victim would just have puncture wounds in their neck. And every time before they would feed, when their fangs would pop out, they would do, like, a slow motion, like, shaky cam, like...
It was blurry in about 10 frames per second.
Yeah. And that was, like, their way of being like, hey, supernatural thing happening.
Yeah.
That was really the only indication.
Yeah, no, it wasn't very good. But, yeah, I just wanted to... I don't know. I thought they just broke more rules. I could have sworn I saw a guy, like, looking at himself in the mirror, chomping on a clove of garlic. No? No one else saw that? Okay.
I don't think so.
All right, fair.
That was actually when you saw me when you were walking by the bathroom. I always do that.
Oh, my bad.
At 7:30 at night to freshen my breath and look at my face.
Okay, you clowns, cut the crap.
So let's go into positive notes of Blade of the Vampire, guys.
I have exactly one positive.
Yeah.
And that is that the lead character looks like he could be a vampire, and that is it. He has a tightly trimmed goatee and the slick back hair that was so 2000s.
Oh, yeah. And he had a
coat.
trench.
Trench coat.
All
Boots.
black.
All black, all early 2000s kind of gothic look.
But he just looked like an Italian dad. Like
He also did look like an Italian dad.
Yeah, he looked like Joe Mantegna's son.
He did look like Joe Mantegna's son.
I had 1 plus also.
Go
It's
for
the
it.
barren positive section.
Okay.
And it's not even a plus, it's almost kind of like a backhanded insult. The fact that the music in it was like Lethal Weapon music.
Oh my God, the music in this, the score for this, they like went to 1001vampirescores.com.
Not even, they went to like Diamond Heist
Oh, that's right.
porn parodies.
No, the music was awful. What do you say? What's
was
on
really
the
bad.
positives for?
Well, because that one part had the sweet like ding Lethal Weapon music.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's what it sounds
Yeah, when
like.
they threw that woman in the shower for some reason.
Oh yeah, when he washed her tits.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah, it did invoke the spirit of Danny Glover.
So is that it for
Damn.
positives? Is that a?
Did you have none?
I have none. I didn't think. There was nothing there.
Yeah, I
That
was really
was
reaching
appealing.
to just write something like
Yeah, I know we're supposed to.
This
And
movie is entirely irredeemable.
yeah, I agree. I mean,
irredeemable, apprehensible.
Reprehensible.
That's it.
Abominable. Terrible.
that would have been a good one for the third one. Abominable. Good.
Bad.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't have anything that I thought was like a plus.
I would like to go into my first negative.
All right, I would like you to talk about that.
My first negative is that everyone in the movie talks like this.
And that's why I'm going to stop, because that's getting tiresome.
I was going to say your throat must be killing you.
How do you think they felt?
Like, terrible actors, probably. But I don't know if that was like a direction thing. Like, okay, well, this guy's a grizzled hunter, and he's kind of like Kyle Reese, so he has to talk like this.
You know,
And the other guy's a vampire, so he has to talk like this.
no, I think it was because both those guys had a lot of ADR, so I bet you they recorded it at night, like in someone's mom's house.
It wouldn't surprise me, given the sets in this movie. I don't think they had access to a whole lot.
The hunter's voice, I thought sounded like a voice on like bad lip reads would sound like. It was like really fucking wacky. I did not understand what was going on.
Yeah, pretty over the top, I'd say. Any other failures, guys?
Horrible acting.
All right.
It's punishable
Yeah.
Punishable by what?
by death.
That's what I
Guillotine.
thought you were going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Punishable by tofu.
Yeah, this whole movie was an incoherent kind of
Mess.
mess of blah.
Like the plot was so shallow. Vampire lures kids to his house to feed on. Meanwhile, a hunter that he has a history with is trying to hunt him down.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make something out of that framework, but you pretty much just explained the whole thing.
Like I have so many questions
All right.
regarding the plot of this movie.
Ask away.
Where did they come from, first of all?
The Rome.
The
Is that what they
Pacific
said?
Ocean.
The vampires?
Oh, the
Yeah.
vampires?
Rome.
They originated from Rome, but I guess they just kind of bounced around for hundreds of years.
That guy was definitely from Rome.
Like,
or
we
Cleveland. Rome or Cleveland.
We get no inclination of what happened to them previous to this, what landed them where they are, like what their history is. The main vampire, Vandalis.
They were just like,
And his
yeah, he was in
lady
New
friend?
York, and then he was in Chicago at one point.
Yeah, he went to New York,
exotic
Cleveland,
locations.
Chicago, and then he popped up in California.
But
LA,
there's no
I think it
like
was, yeah.
history.
It's barely
It's
explained.
barren.
But that guy has premonitions,
Yeah, hunches, you know.
and he follows them.
Yeah, where do they come from and what happened before this are pretty much my two hugest questions.
Yeah. Those are some pretty big questions.
Pretty good question, Steph.
I'd say, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, maybe they're answered, but we weren't paying attention. Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of the bad acting and the terrible storyline, the dialogue in this movie is so inane. Like, there are several parts in this movie where there's just like a circular argument going around and no one is contributing anything extra to it. Like,
They're just rehashing the story thus far.
pretty much. Like, there's a scene closer to the end of the movie where one of the women has been bitten by Vandalis and she's like addicted to his bite. So she wants to like run out and try to find him.
I love him.
Yeah, and the hunter is trying to keep her in his apartment to keep her safe. And the argument is literally, I have to go, you can't go, why not? He'll kill you. I have to go, you can't go, why not? He'll kill you. And that happens several times in the movie. It's like,
And then he just lets her leave.
she just walks away. What was the point of that scene?
Oh god, this movie is something like I hate to say it, but I kind of loved it.
Whoa, okay.
Despite, maybe because of how terrible it was.
I feel like I would have watched this movie on Cinemax in about the time it came out.
Yeah, I buy
When
this.
you're like a teenager.
This would be Tommy's last sleepover, where we're getting a little too old.
We're a little too old. We're like 18. Maybe
Actually,
17.
2006. This was after we graduated high school.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty bad.
Yeah, this is a late night Cinemax movie for sure.
I don't even know. Like, I'm appalled that someone felt that they had the right to use DVDs for this atrocity. But no, like, I don't know. I just had fun watching it.
You did. I mean, I had fun watching it, but of no fault of the movie,
Yeah.
I had a fun time.
Yeah.
But the actual movie itself,
Pretty much laughing at it.
And this,
It's a different vibe than like Samurai Cop. 'Cause
yeah,
I feel like while you laugh a lot at Samurai Cop does do things kind of okay.
yeah, and it's endearing.
Yeah, it has like an endearing quality. There's nothing endearing about this fucking movie, but
No.
Yeah,
no.
Samurai Cop does a lot right.
this is enjoyable in its incompetence, but not for much else.
Yeah.
It was silly.
Skip right to rating it. Fuck.
I thought one of the major problems this movie had is, okay, Blade of the Vampire, name of the movie. Didn't really see much blades.
There was one tiny blade.
There was
named-
one blade out like way late in the movie.
Yeah, presumably it was Blade specifically for killing vampires.
How-
So I mean,
we can only assume that.
they don't actually explain that at all. It's
No.
just a very fancy looking plastic knife from Spencer's Gift.
And because Blade of the Vampire, you assume vampire movie. You think vampire movie. You think blood. There was no blood in
None
this movie.
at all.
None.
How much?
None.
There was a little bit.
All right, there's a little bit. But seriously,
But no, that ties into a negative I had actually, which was that they didn't use a lot of practical effects, and when they did, they were not good.
no,
Like, I don't know.
they were not.
They were not. I don't know if the person who did it just didn't have the know-how, or
I feel like this is one of those things
I'm
where
sure this movie cost $32 to make, but
no, it definitely cost more than that.
There was an entire crew
Prove
associated with this
it.
piece of shit.
Yeah, there was.
Well, I mean, like quality wise, I would say this is on par with what, like a 1994 TV show.
You could, yeah, one could say that,
like
yeah.
an okay 1994 TV show, but this is a 2005 movie.
Yeah, fair.
So I mean,
Fair
there's a
assessment.
crew associated with it, but they don't know what they're doing
Yeah, yeah.
because it looks 11 years out of date.
kind of looks
Definitely.
like a VHS. I would buy it as a VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he was still using the same equipment because apparently this director guy just made a shit ton of movies.
Yeah. I mean, if he's got the same equipment that he's had since 1992, he's saving a lot of money on production costs.
Oh
So,
yeah, and still cranking out movies.
Yep.
Can we skip right to the biggest crime in this movie,
What's the
besides
biggest-
the fact that it has no fucking coherent story?
Yep.
Yeah.
It had zero continuity. Like, no one involved in this movie had any concept of continuity at all.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
There
I
was
even-
like
We've seen every failure in continuity in this movie.
there was like scenes that were just like night day, night day, night day, night day, and it was so obvious. Like, why would you not care about that?
That was very clear. They just ignored it. They just didn't care. They were just like, "Fuck it, let's just finish this movie."
Yeah.
We've got all these people here for a Saturday afternoon. We're shooting it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
It's just like,
surprised.
if you're gonna take the time to make it, make it.
Well, you said
He
this
didn't
guy,
take the time to make it.
You said this guy cranks out like 2 movies a year, right?
Yeah.
Or at least he used to.
So we looked up this guy on IMDb, and apparently he's got 41 movies.
Yeah.
And we want to watch all of them.
No.
No, some of them, yes.
But
continue.
So I mean, like there were points, and like you said, the continuity is all over the place in this movie. I'm sure they're under a super tight shooting schedule because if it went a day over, this movie would not be profitable. So we saw continuity that included like weather continuity, where it was like rainy in one shot, and then the next shot it was completely sunny. There was like a 2-minute chase scene where it kept bouncing back and forth from sunny to raining. We had the lighting continuity. We had just a complete failure of editing continuity where
Oh, yeah.
probably go over that in the favorite parts. I'll save that one.
Yeah, that's fair.
We had like a weird editing continuity where like two panning shots were clipped together.
Yeah, they tried to
And-
stitch 2 clips together to make a pan go by so they could end in the right spot. Probably because the pan was so long, it was probably like 25 seconds to get to the end. And the guys was like, "This is too long. You gotta cut it in half." So they just
Cut out the middle.
slice them together. It was edited on Final Cut Pro, though. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
For the credits.
Which would make me wonder how the editing turned out so bad, because it's not like they couldn't just go back and fix it.
I know. They had the tools.
But yeah, I'm sure they were under like a super tight schedule to make sure this thing was profitable.
Yeah.
You can't stay a day overtime on set. Like,
This seemed definitely one of those movies.
yeah.
So many technical issues
Yeah.
with this movie, like outrageous.
So many shots were like blown out. Things are just like white.
Yeah, lots of ADR.
What's ADR?
Like
so
misplaced. Like there was an entire scene of this movie that was all ADR, and all it was showing the other person in the conversation while they put the dialogue in, and then cutting back to the other person's reaction while the other person started to talk, so that they could slip their ADR in.
So weird.
I feel like that had to have been like a deliberate, like, I'm sure they put those shots into like every scene in the movie, and then just like, okay, well, if we have a script problem, we'll just fix it later.
Yep.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh God, that's terrible. Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing else for failures. I think I've said everything I need to say about this.
The scenery in this movie is ugly.
Yeah.
They have
Ooh.
like the scenery in the sets. They have
Oh.
like 4 sets. They have the vampire's house. They have like a sidewalk, a store that is going out of business,
Clearly.
and fucking underneath a bridge. That was it. And none of them were particularly attractive sets. I don't know. It's-
Speaking of not particularly attractive, I didn't believe that we were supposed to buy the main vampire guy as like suave or like super handsome or anything.
Were we supposed to?
I think we were supposed to.
Maybe. I would say, I would say since he's a vampire, he's inherently charming.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe that's the idea, but I mean, I don't know.
He
He seemed well put together. I'll give him that much.
Also, the hunter was like a wannabe Kyle Reese.
Totally.
We did not appreciate that at all.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like Kyle Reese, but not really. He kind of filled the same role as Kyle Reese, but not really.
He had that weird voice.
He even kind of did like the "Come with me if you want to live" thing. I forgot what the line was. It was a lot more, stupid and less memorable because I can't remember what it was. But yeah,
good.
So this piece of shit.
But this guy got to be Kyle Reese for a couple minutes, so good for him.
Yeah, that's fun. That was a fun time. Yeah. Anything else?
I think that about wraps up everything that I wanted to address.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, so we didn't like a lot of things about this movie.
Well, I have a question actually.
All right, we're back to
Notice I
questions.
wrote it down. Sorry.
More questions.
At one point, he says something like, "Oh, we're a new race."
Yeah.
I don't
After the Alta Vista slideshow.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. I was like, vampires are supposed to be super old, and like,
Maybe he just means like in context to all of humankind.
you mean
if they're
vampires that can
race?
like walk in the daylight?
I guess-
Yeah.
yeah, maybe.
Well, see, that's why so that's just fucked up. To do that. I mean, they were walking around during the day
Yeah.
with no consequence and no explanation.
Yeah, that was really like the biggest thing that
That's
they broke.
Like,
I mean, it's the biggest one to break.
I can't go further than that. Like, that's a fuck up. Mm-hmm. And because because it's Blade of the Vampire, I was like, oh, is it like Blade? Like, are they
like
daywalkers?
Yeah.
Is
Like,
it a Blade ripoff?
yeah, exactly. I thought it might have been a Blade ripoff, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And they didn't explain that, and that's a big fucking problem. Is that too assertive?
No.
Okay. I'll say that sounded
Listen, you
like
shouldn't be afraid to assert yourself, Tom.
no, that was.
You have a lot to be proud of.
But I was like unseasonably
own
angry for
podcast.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, now that you put it in those terms, I mean, it does feel kind of like a Leprechaun Origins type thing.
Oof.
Where, like,
Oh.
we're taking this mythological creature, we're breaking the rules without explaining why we broke the rules or making a good movie.
Very true.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. I didn't quite think of that until right now.
Let's change everything people love about other types of movies like this and make it terrible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, with that, I guess we can enter into favorite parts.
Yeah!
I do have a couple of favorite parts,
All right.
just because they're fucking stupid. So his ex-lady vampire friend that's like pretty much haunting and harassing him the entire time.
Oh, yeah, her.
She doesn't have a name because nobody does.
Wait, there was Derek.
And Clarissa, and that's it. And the main character. In the end, after she attacks
Vandalis.
Vandalis and he dies, she's like dying from that wound she sustained from the blade of the vampire.
Yes.
And she's on top of him on the ground and she like kills him, and then she gets up and just wiggles a bunch, and then she dies too.
Yeah,
That's right.
She's goth dancing.
I just thought that was really fucking dumb and unnecessary, but it made me laugh. So favorite parts, you know, lemonade out of lemons, guys.
I like the first reveal that our guy that clearly looks like a vampire with his goatee and his trench coat is revealed to be a vampire.
Yay, that's mine
was,
too.
Yeah, that was supreme.
This movie opens with
Supreme.
Vampire Supreme. So the movie opens with our vampire character Vandalis like meeting a realtor at a house that is for sale. And they bullshit talk a little bit, and then he says he's going to move in, and then he reveals himself to be a vampire. And this is revealed to us, the audience, by first cutting to the realtor's face, which is horrified / constipated.
Close up.
And then it cuts to the vampire's face close up, where he's kind of like smiling, his vampire smile, and he's showing his teeth. And it's like all blurry, and it's shot at about 2 frames a second. And then it cuts back to
the
realtor.
blurry slow-mo.
Yep.
Yeah,
So we know
that
it's
was the first-
supernatural.
Yeah, exactly.
With all the snap zooms that were such a delight.
Oh, God.
Then it cuts back to the realtor, back to the vampire, back to the realtor, back to the vampire.
But he's just kind of like laughing.
Yeah. I just started I was like, there's no way this could have been done for drama. It could have only been done for comedy. And then finally he attacks him in the silliest manner possible.
Blue.
And then he blah. Yeah, every single line in this movie was said with like the cadence of blah.
I love it. Love and hate it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess if I had to choose a favorite part, it would be that one, because that was early.
That definitely sold us on
You know what it
watching the rest of
reminded
this.
me of? Those like gifs where they'll like zoom in on a dog,
Yes.
and it's like a shaky cam, and the dog's eyes are like bulging, and he looks like like that's what that shot reminded me. Just a dog like whoo. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I liked that when he was about to bite that girl, his ex-girlfriend just showed up to taunt him.
Wait, what happened? Sorry.
When all those teenage vagabonds were in his house, and he brought the girl in the other room to what everyone thought was gonna be have sex with her for money, but really to just bite her. And then her friend came in to check on her, and then his girlfriend, his vamp girlfriend, just showed up and like started making sex sounds so the kid would think she was okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But then she was like talking to him, and then she vanished. Like she showed up just to taunt him.
Yeah, but then she ended up later biting him, too.
Yes.
Yeah, in the
No,
house.
she showed up just to taunt the vampire.
Oh.
Like she was there just being a bitch. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they didn't get along.
True.
We
And
later find out why.
One
Vampires have very troubled
final favorite
relationships.
part was when the main female character, not the vampire, some other girl who nobody knows her name, gets bitten, and they put her in the car and her friend's in the back seat, and she's like she's dead, and then she immediately just moves so much, she like wiggles and like readjusts herself. I was like,
Does some
"Oh,
calculus homework. Yeah.
we need to bring her to emergency.
Oh, my God.
What's the address for emergency?
911. Emergency lane.
Oh God,
You fool.
This movie was an exercise in ineptitude.
Yeah. So, is it time to rate?
We still have some more favorite parts.
Oh, we do?
We got some gun continuity going on.
Oh, shit. We didn't even talk about that.
In the final throwdown between the hunter and the vampire, the hunter pulls out his handgun, and then it cuts to him dropping it, like the typical movie, like, okay, we're going to have a hard cut to the gun falling to the floor.
Yep.
So we have established that the gun is no longer in play for the time being. And then it cuts to the next shot, which is him holding the gun and then it getting punched out of his hand.
Scott did mention that, and
did.
it was just as hilarious and obvious as I hoped it would be.
Yes. We
I was-
rewound it.
Yeah, I was keeping my eye open for it the entire time. Like, I mean, we've tried to write continuity gags for some projects, and I don't think we came up with one as funny as that.
No.
Because
No way.
in my mind, I could not imagine someone being that incompetent at editing a movie.
Yeah, like that was the final version sent for distribution.
Yeah.
That's the version.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like Laser Mission where, like, for some reason, whoever ripped this DVD just stuck 15 minutes into a different spot. Like, this was in the actual movie.
Yeah, that's
This was planned.
unacceptable.
I do have one more favorite part.
All right,
This is
wow.
a very brief one. I found it really funny that after two of the vagabonds got bitten in the vampire's house, and the next cut is just them laying on a leather couch under a bridge somewhere. I don't know why I found that so fucking funny, but just like, why? How did you end up there?
Why indeed?
Yeah, and you know what I didn't like
What didn't you not like?
was how
Everyone is a freak.
Oh my god. Being a freak in this movie was the highest form of insult. I actually called the line. That's how you know
That was so weird.
That's how you know a movie's so bad is when you say a bad line because you think it should happen and then it happens.
Like literally 4 seconds later.
I yelled out, "He's not a freak," and 4 seconds later, that's exactly what the woman yelled.
Hey, he's not a freak. He's okay.
That guy's a geek.
Yeah.
God.
I did not like how all of the people who were bitten by the vampires then were in love with those vampires and they desired to be
Bitten
sucked
more.
Yeah, to have their blood sucked.
I didn't like that either.
I hated that.
But
I love you, man.
I didn't like it, but I feel like that is something that could be done in a clever way. But then again, I've also never seen Twilight, and maybe that's what Twilight's about.
I don't know.
So,
I have
don't
seen
know.
Twilight, and it's not about that.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know either way. But
That's
Well, I mean, shows like Buffy have done the whole get bit by a vampire is like a fetish thing, and like you like letting them suck your blood. And then like John Carpenter's Vampires, like I mentioned, does the whole, it's like a euphoric calming effect while he's
Yeah.
like feeding, and then afterwards she just like freaks out. So I feel like this was just like a failure on like all of the other accounts. I mean, if you're really positive, I guess you could spin it as like an original idea,
Yeah.
but better versions of it have been done.
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
It feels like a very fourth grade version of those ideas.
Not a
Yeah.
good execution.
Yeah. So now's the time to rate?
Sorry, I
I
just
think so.
rambled for 10 minutes.
No, that was good. All right, let's rate it.
Let's rate it.
Rat it.
So let's rate it then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
fuck
I'm gonna
you.
have to give it an unfortunate fuck off.
Oh my god, my fucking father.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Are we all giving this movie a fuck you? Or no?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's tough.
I would tell someone to watch
Yeah,
this,
that's the
though.
thing. I would. Well, I'm trying to think.
Just to see how bad it is.
Yeah, I almost feel like I can't give it a fuck you based on that alone, because I might be like, you want to see one of the worst movies I've ever seen?
Watch this movie.
Watch this one.
Yeah?
Because it's so incompetent. You have to kind of marvel at how it got made, or how this guy actually went and made 40 movies throughout the life of his career.
Yeah, and I mean, I actually am interested in watching his other movies.
Yeah.
Well,
But my instinct says fuck you.
he directed a
Yeah, I
movie that
agree.
Christina Ricci was in.
So?
That's crazy to me.
I'm not surprised.
And like Michael Rooker was in one of his movies, but I think I want to narrow that down to watching movies that he wrote and directed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I feel like those would be real special.
Well, he wrote, produced, and directed this one. And what is this guy's name again? Because I always say it wrong.
Serge Granunsky or something like that.
Okay. And then his name in this movie was Miles something or other?
I thought he was a different guy, because I saw both the Surge name and the Miles name somewhere in.
He could have
the
just
credits.
credited himself twice under two names.
It's
Well,
also
on
possible.
IMDb, it said that he was producer as Miles something, and
Okay.
then something else as Miles something.
So
I'm
maybe
so inarticulate, I can't even remember his name.
Yeah, maybe he was just trying to like throw people. Like he was doing the Godfrey Ho, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That makes sense.
Because this is movie like 35 of 41. You know,
Yeah.
it's like later in his career.
It's like people.
What
have
were the other
stopped.
35 like before?
Godfather 2,
I need to know.
Godfather Part 3,
Godfrey Hofather.
Godfrey Ho.
So I guess if that's the case, then what do we rate it individually?
Ah man, I'm having a hard time putting my finger on this one.
What do we want to rate it?
Should just give it a fuck
I'm
off?
gonna give it a standard fuck off
Or
because I feel
what
like
the
Whoa,
fuck?
a standard fuck off.
I think so.
No, I think
I don't know. Something about, like, even though I didn't like this movie at all, we had a good time watching it. So like, I would have a hard time saying I wouldn't recommend it to someone.
See, I always fall victim to that, having a good time watching a movie and having it impact my opinion of that movie.
Yeah.
I do not particularly think that this movie is what fueled all of my fun during the movie. I think there were other things involved. So I'm pretty sure...
A promise of chili, obviously.
Yes, the promise of chili at the end of the movie was certainly hopeful. But no, I don't know. I don't think I want to give this movie a thing.
you don't want to give it an inch.
I don't want to give it an inch.
It'll take a mile.
Nope.
Nope.
Nah, I don't think I want to give this movie anything. You know what? I don't disagree with the recommendation.
This is the first time we've like really
Yeah,
deliberated
this is-
out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I disagree with the recommendation. Like, I think I would potentially as well. But that still doesn't mean I'm not going to give it a fuck you. That's my rating. It is a fuck you.
Fair enough.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
I was easily swayed.
So you're a fuck you
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
All right, so you're a fuck you?
Fuck
Come
you.
on.
Am I gonna succumb to peer pressure on that? Fuck you.
Go! Is this also it's a shit flick shit list, but a high on the recommendations list?
Yeah, this might be the first one that has been like that.
Did it
I
cheat
know,
our
we-
system?
I think
it
it
did.
did. Like, we usually all just give a private rating and don't discuss it beforehand.
Well, I mean, the thing is, this movie is awful, but it's not unwatchable, which is very, very thin line.
Don't watch it by yourself.
No.
Oh, no.
You might not make it through.
Definitely not.
See you another day.
See, I'm not sure anyone who isn't even slightly seasoned would make it through this movie. You know, I don't think anyone normal could watch this movie.
No, they'd be like, what the fuck is this? But if
Yeah.
you have like any kind of interest in bad movies, this certainly breaks so many rules of movie making that it becomes fascinating.
Yeah.
Almost like it's not nearly as compelling as The Room, but it's got that same vibe.
Yeah.
It's just, without the weirdness of Tommy Wiseau backing it, it's clearly a cash cow of some sort.
Yeah. Oddly enough, The Room was like deeper than this movie.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah. There's so much meaning you can read into it.
Tommy Wiseau is an ocean.
But yeah, so final verdict is fuck you.
I'm gonna give it a fuck you. Yeah,
fuck you, and it's a shit flick shit list.
I think so.
I can tell Eric's not happy with this.
I don't know. I'm conflicted because I have a hard time giving a fuck you to movies that I had fun watching. And for fuck's sake, I gave. You know what? I'm retreading. I'm giving Last Match a fuck you. Okay, now I feel like I can settle with this.
Okay.
Okay, now all right. Now we can give a fuck you to this.
Okay.
I feel like that has been ruining every opinion I have.
Oh,
The fact that I
Because, like,
gave
you're weighing
Last
that-
Match a fuck off.
when we just talked about it and ridicule it every week
Yes.
from now on.
yeah.
From then on, actually.
yeah.
Well, I feel like if we were rating this movie purely based on its standards as a movie, it would be a fuck you all day.
Oh, easily.
If we're rating our experience watching it due to its ineptitude, each other's company, and just the overall mood
Yeah.
that we had going.
I feel like if we watched this in isolation or if we were in a different mood where we're like, let's just get an episode out of the way, probably wouldn't be feeling so good about this. So I guess
we
I'll
would
go
have
with a
shut
fuck
it
you.
off like
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Honestly, I feel like if this was because it's Wednesday night, if this was a Sunday afternoon, we would have changed movies.
Yeah, we probably would have.
Yeah, we would have been like, we don't have time for this.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, we have plenty of time to try something else and do something later.
But yeah, I'm comfortable giving it a fuck you.
Me
It
too.
was a really terrible movie, but if you want to see how comically bad a movie can be,
Yeah.
watch this movie.
On all fronts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not comically bad the way The Room is comically bad, like you said, but a few things are. As brilliant.
So it's officially a shit flick shit list. So good.
It
We
is.
have something else.
Yeah.
Besides, so what is it? Zipper Face?
Zipper face.
Screwface.
Zipper Face and Blade of the Vampire.
Are those our only two?
I think those are our only two. And
So-
I feel bad for Penitentiary 3 for getting lumped in with Zipper Face.
They were both pretty terrible.
I don't.
Yeah, but
I feel like we gave something else. Something else was on the shit flick shit list.
Actually, you know
Wolf
what?
Cop?
Wolf Cop? Yeah.
No, we didn't give it
Did we?
fuck yous.
I thought we did. I gave it a fuck you.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I hated
Give
that
me a
movie.
fuck you face right now.
And actually, you know what? I think Last Match is officially in the shit list at this point.
Was
It's
it
true.
Leprechaun?
I've retracted. Ooh, Leprechaun might have been. I think we all hated that.
I remember seeing at least 2 things on there already.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we've been hating on a lot of movies lately. But, I mean, I guess this one isn't... I mean, yeah, it's hate. Never mind.
Well, we give credit where credit's due, and we owe this movie nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Any final thoughts, guys? Is this it?
For a movie about vampires, this is about as gothic as a banana ice cream.
With a cherry dip.
Yeah.
Special.
The Goth Special.
Goth special.
Next time you're out getting ice cream, ladies and gentlemen, order the Goth Special. Don't know exactly what you're talking about. You'll get banana ice cream with a cherry dip on a cone. Good night. No, this has been it, right?
This has been
Yeah, I think this has been it.
something.
This has been quite a movie.
Yeah, this has been quite an experience.
Changed our whole rating system for a minute.
It cheated the system a little bit, but I think it got the rating it deserved. But we can always recommend whatever we want, I guess.
Yeah.
We just have to give the proper, notice.
Well, to be fair, if people are just like fast forwarding through the beginning of the podcast and just be like, I want to get to the part where they say fuck, and like that's the only reason they decide to watch a movie, then they're not. I mean, it doesn't. Whatever. They should just listen to the garbage that comes out of our mouths before and after that segment.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and make your own decision about whether you want to watch it or not.
Yeah.
I know we didn't really. No.
What?
I was about to be an apologist for something that we didn't do, but this movie doesn't deserve anything. I was gonna say we
You're right.
didn't do the plot justice by like really explaining it.
Yeah, I mean, we could go in depth into it, but I mean,
It's not worth it.
Not worth it.
if you're gonna watch this, it's not for the plot. It's for like the horrible continuity errors and like the goofy fucking early 2000s wardrobe, where jeans look like samurai pants.
Oh yeah, the guy had Chinkos.
Oh, and the girl was wearing like metallic rubber pants. Oh god.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
Future generations will not look upon the early 2000s kindly, or us for that matter.
Yeah. But yeah, all right. I'm good. That's it. This has been Second Class Cinema. We watched Blade of the Vampire from 2005, and it is a shitlist movie.
Disappointingly, it was not a Len Kavizinski movie as I first guessed it would be.
Oh no.
Fist of the Vampire.
Fist of the Vampire,
And,
yeah.
we
And
will
Curse of
watch
the
that
Wolf.
Curse of the Wolf.
eventually.
Yeah,
I would like to get on a Kavizinski movie soon.
definitely get in some line.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you'd like more information, come to the Facebook page, facebook.com/secondclasscinema. You can listen to us on iTunes and Stitcher and TuneIn Radio, and we are on Instagram and Twitter, and you could be listening to us on secondclasscinema.com, our new website. Yeah, peruse our site. We tried to organize it pretty good, so have a good time looking around. Got some articles coming through. It's going to be a place to do some B-movie stuff. Be a good time.
Enjoy.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, it should be fun. And that's it.
We need to take her to emergency.
That's not a good idea.
We need to take her to emergency.
Her condition's like something they've never seen before.
How do you know that?
It'll read like an OD. If that's the case, she'll immediately go into a coma and be dead in 6 hours.
Well, then tell him it's not an OD.
You're gonna go by the book. I'm sorry.